Welcome to AI Your Practice, the podcast exploring how AI is changing the business side of running a healthcare practice. I'm Carolyn Dean, founder of Trilby AI, dental marketing strategist, speaker, and somebody who spent more than 20 years working alongside dental and healthcare practices. Hello, Abby. Thank you so much for coming today. It's really great to see you.
Hello, and thank you for having me.
And for the people that don't know you, which I think will be really very few people in the dental industry, can you give us an overview of your journey and your experience?
Absolutely. My name's Abby Corrigall. I have been in the dental industry now 24 years, which is a little bit telling as to when I started.
At birth?
At birth, yes. It's a good moisturiser. No, so I started my dental career. I left high school with a plan to join the police force.
Didn't know that.
Yes, and I came from a very small town, and the dentist in my town, his wife tapped me on the shoulder and said, "You're a nice girl. Would you like to be my husband's dental assistant?"
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so I did that for 2 years with him. And then I moved over to Queenstown and I continued that journey. And then I moved to Australia, where the plan was I'm just going to do dental for 6 months to learn Australia. And the rest is history.
I was going to say, how did that turn out for you?
Still dreaming of driving fast cars. Yeah. So basically started out at a dental surgery when I came here. It was a dental corporate.
Okay.
Yeah. So worked there for a couple of months as a DA, and then they made me the centre manager, which was amazing. I think I was 21 and I had 83 staff, which was a huge shift, especially coming from just arriving in the country and not knowing anybody. That was challenging, but it was really great, and it set me up for a fairly decent career in dental.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Go on, tell what happened next, because you have the most incredible history. Come on, tell me everything.
Yeah. So basically was running the practice there, and then I was given the opportunity to do a refurbishment of a practice. There was an acquisition, and then they were doing a refurbishment of the clinic. I then ran a specialist clinic for a period of time, and then it was very far away from where I was living.
Yeah.
And it was probably about 3.5 hours worth of travel every single day.
Yeah.
And
not
so
uncommon.
Not uncommon. And I was young, so it was fine.
Yeah.
But it got to the point where it was impacting. So I chose a practice manager's job closer to home. And probably at that time, I was thinking about what I wanted to do next.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did a course on public relations and events.
Okay.
And
It's all making sense now.
Terrible at the public relations, because I was very, it's, Monday at 3:00, be there.
Yeah.
I wasn't very good at like the hype and the spinning it.
Yeah.
But the event side of things, I came up with the most incredible events as part of the study.
Yeah.
And then it just so happened that there was a job advertised at the Australian Dental Association.
Touché.
And I went to the dentist and said, "Look, I'm only working 3 days a week for you now because I've got your systems and processes in place where you don't actually need me anymore.
Yeah.
Here's this job. It's basically everything that I know from dental and everything that I've learnt in events."
Yeah.
And he said, "Well, if you were my daughter, I would want you to go for that," which is lovely.
That is lovely.
So I'm still friends with them now.
Nice.
Yeah. And so that was the start of my career at the ADA.
Yeah.
I started off as industry liaison manager. So my job was to basically know everybody in the industry and then know what was going on from a technical standpoint, like the changes in dentistry and the market and products and all of that sort of thing, and put everybody together. So I ran the Centre for Professional Development.
You did.
which was amazing.
Yeah. And that's where we met.
That's where we met.
Many, many moons ago.
Oh, so long ago. That was still back in Lithgow Street.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, in the original building. So the CEO there left at that time, and then I was afforded the opportunity to do some study where I was able to do my master's. I chose commerce as the subject, which I thought was an interesting choice and just something that I was interested in.
Yeah.
And within a couple of years, I was then the general manager of the Centre for Professional Development. So that was great. I got to meet some amazing people. And then with my time there, I was sort of given the opportunity to run other areas of the business.
Yeah.
So I then started managing Best Practice Productions. So production company, very niche production company. So we would create video content for dentists as part of the digital media library. So I was in a very unique position because running the Centre for Professional Development, I knew what dentists wanted.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I was already running those events. And so I found it quite cost effective to film everything at the same time and then utilize that content and repurpose it for education for the federal body.
Scalable content.
Yes, which was excellent. And then around that time, that was when podcasts had just started, really. And I had a situation where there was some content delivered in one of the courses.
Yeah.
And there was some information that could have been, there were some people who weren't happy with that information.
Yeah.
And it was like, well, how can we, it's not like we can then run another course.
Yes.
Just for a 20-minute worth of education.
Yeah.
And so I suggested that we create a podcast channel. And from that, the podcast channel grew. And then we ended up having 2 podcasts. So one for general practitioners and then another one for recent graduates. When we had lectures, I was able to capture that content as well. Yeah. And then just edit out any time the practitioner would refer to the slides. Because back
so
in
you
those
would just
days,
repurpose
everything.
That's really clever.
And utilize everything as many different ways as possible.
Touche.
So yes, that was the start of my career. I was at the ADA for 12 and a half years.
Yep.
So in that time, the association, which was quite separate, with the branch and CPD were quite separate, separate buildings.
Remember.
And then they joined together. We built a new fit-for-purpose facility, which was an incredible opportunity to rebuild the Centre for Professional Development the way that it works.
Yeah.
Well.
Yes. Yeah.
To the point where we would time how long it took to make the coffees, and we made the cups shorter. It sounds crazy.
That's really mean, I'm thinking. But
No. Well, so everybody still got their pods,
said the coffee drinkers in the room, apparently.
But what was happening when we were running the courses is that the team around me would be there at 7 o'clock in the morning and they wouldn't leave till 7 or 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah, I remember.
Which is not sustainable. They were massive, massive hours, but everybody loved doing it.
Yeah.
But it is a lot of time spent running these courses. So when we redesigned everything, we ensured that all of the clinical components of running the course were removed from the clinic, from the training room at the time, and then moved into a separate room where they could be cleaned immediately afterwards.
Yeah.
So instead of having to clean them at the end of the day, once everybody had left and then you could make noise, we built a purpose-built room, stereo, off the side of the building so that you could be working in the afternoon.
Yeah.
We reduced all the morning teas and the afternoon teas by 15 minutes, and we put standing tables so that people would stand, and everybody still got the same amount of education, but it made it more efficient for the team
That's
around.
really clever.
Yeah.
So after the ADA, then
So after the ADA, I took a CEO's position at a dental company. So the company had many different businesses, including education, including Oratomic, which are biomimetic 3D printed dental models for education.
Yep.
And we had an R&D arm of the business that was constantly looking at how to make efficiencies in the clinic and in laboratories. We ran dental clinics, dental laboratory, and denture clinics.
Yeah.
So a lot.
A huge amount.
Huge amount, yes.
And so there just seems to be a theme of innovation, optimization, and education.
Yes.
Through everything you've done.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Which is ironic because for us, for Trilby, we're focused on innovation, but the purpose is to help practices, to see the problems, to fix the problems. So what are you actually seeing as the biggest need in the industry right now? So from an innovation point of view or an education point of view or an efficiency point of view, what do you think the industry needs and is lacking right now?
Staff. At the end of the day, that was always the biggest problem, was staffing and getting the right people. Getting any staff was incredibly difficult. I'm not sure if COVID played a part in it, but it just became really difficult to find people that wanted to show up and work hard. There was a definite the job pool was lacking.
Yeah.
There just weren't the people to take the roles.
And I hear this week in, week out, that practices cannot maintain any insights, any things that you have seen that has actually worked to get good people and to keep good people.
I think when I left the company, we were at a point where we were employing people from overseas.
Okay.
Which is crazy. I was tapped on the shoulder as a 16, 17-year-old. There's not that. I don't even know how you would do that these days.
So why aren't people coming into dentistry? And we're having issues in the industry across all levels. We're talking from DAs to dentists. Why? You think COVID made the problem worse? Did it exist before COVID?
I think so. I was at the ADA before COVID.
Yeah.
And I would always read in the forums, it's very hard to find a dentist.
Yeah.
There was always dentists looking for hygienists, looking for junior dentists, looking for associate dentists. I think it's always been a problem. As somebody who worked at the association, it was something that I just kind of heard, but didn't have to live.
Yeah.
And it was only when I was, at my previous company where I was like, oh, this is a problem. This is a real problem. It was fine to get people in Sydney and in Parramatta.
Yeah.
But places like
the regions,
country areas, even I wouldn't say Charlestown or Maitland is a country area.
Yeah.
It's still metro. And as far as a visa purpose, it's still classified as a city.
Yeah.
But Canberra, Newcastle, very difficult to find staff.
Anything that you did that worked? You said that you were looking at overseas. Are you looking at overseas dentists or looking at overseas DAs?
Dentists.
Okay.
So we got visa status. So we were able to employ dentists from overseas, dentists and prosthetists.
Yep.
Which we were doing, and it was working very well. We also were able to employ technicians.
Okay.
From ceramists, technicians with incredible skill sets.
Yeah.
Very, very good overseas technical skills.
That's great.
Very, very good.
And DAs? How? Any magic?
No magic there, unfortunately. It's always a friend of a friend. Yeah. Somebody knows somebody. The recruitment agencies were very expensive. And
yes,
I found it a huge problem because they would promise the world and they would give us these staff.
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks later, they would say, well, we want a pay rise.
Yeah.
And it's like, but you've already agreed to this price, which was already well above, way above industry rates. And then they would say, oh, I've changed my mind. I would like a position in finance instead. And it's like, you don't understand.
There is no position in finance.
Yeah. And so they would move on to other areas. And yeah, I just don't know what the answer is. Short of, if you get somebody good serving you at Kmart or in a deli at the supermarket, I mean, tap them on the shoulder and say, hey, would you like a job? Like if anybody you come across shows 10% thought or insight or thinking outside the square, nab them.
Wow. One of the reasons that we built Trilby is to help with the admin burden. So compliance, APRA compliance, marketing, HR, operations, and to put AI solutions in to augment the skills and the practices. So when you think about your practices, you think about admin or HR, marketing, compliance, what do you think is the biggest issue that you have experienced?
All of them. Yeah. So from what I understand of Trilby, I think it will be a lifesaver for a lot of small practices. I think from a resourcing perspective, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And so this is a fantastic tool to support the clinicians, to support the staff in running a ethical, compliant, customer-focused business.
Yeah, thank you. And so magic wand wise, so if I could hand over a magic wand for marketing, what would you fix?
I would, like, as in what would I want for
What would you want to be fixed?
Advertising guidelines. If I wanted to come up with a concept, I could feed it into Trilby and it would tell me automatically that, here's this breach, here's this breach. You're not allowed to. APRA compliance, basically.
Yeah.
Because I don't think anybody sets out to be malice or.
I agree. Yeah.
To do the wrong thing.
Yeah.
I think, I come up with 700 ideas.
Yes.
And I give it to my marketing and comms team who may not necessarily have the APRA compliance in the back of their head.
Yeah.
And they'll say, yep, sure, go for gold. And then you get a letter in the mail saying,
yes,
you can't say that.
You cannot say that. And for me, as you know, that when I presented, I used to know the APRA advertising guidelines back to front, upside down, and I could spout it, and I'd always have somebody from the ADA there at my side, and we would talk at it together. For me, when the September 2025 guidelines came in, that's when I crashed and burned, because the nuance of the language that you could use and what you could say and what you couldn't say. Before, I felt it was very clear that you could not use specialization. It was very clear for me, but the new guidelines were just a whole different level. So for me, I'm in marketing. I've got nearly 20 years in dental marketing, and I was overwhelmed, and I was having practices that are working with me saying, can we say this? What do we do here? And I was overwhelmed. So I would completely agree with you that I think that it's taken a whole new level of misunderstanding and confusion about what you should and shouldn't do. So I agree with that magic wand. Absolutely.
Well, and when you think about it, running a dental clinic, even as a practice owner, you have so many different areas of the business that you have to focus on.
So many hats to wear.
So many hats to wear. You've got compliance, you've got infection control, you've got rent, you've got overheads, you've got staffing, you've got patient care. You've got all of these different aspects that you have to abide by.
Yep.
And then you also have to, you can't say the wrong thing and you can't advertise the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And the only way you can differentiate yourself from your colleagues is, your Google reviews or how well you do dentistry.
Yes.
But then you're not allowed to tell
But you
anybody
can't tell
about
anybody.
that. You can't tell anybody.
You can't use it.
No.
Yeah.
No. So, back in the day, dentists only had the brass plaques
Yeah.
on the doors.
Yeah.
And that was all of the advertising that they would ever do. Whereas fast forward now, and everybody's got full floor-to-ceiling giant signs. Everybody's an aesthetic dentist or a cosmetic dentist. You've got superannuation. You've got
we won't go there. Oh, we might go there. We could go
but
there.
From a payment perspective now, everybody has to be paid, which is important. And I truly believe that is something that should happen. But from a payroll perspective, I was thinking, using superannuation for treatment. See, there's so much.
There is so much.
So much that people have to, dentists have to think about.
Yeah.
Trilby.
Possibly. It's definitely one of the solutions.
Yeah.
So I agree. I totally agree. So operations side, biggest pain points, if I could hand you a magic wand to get rid of what you've seen as biggest issues with operations, what would you get rid of instantly?
I think now that there are some rules coming in that things are going to change from a dental assistant's perspective as well. So, the award levels and everything like that, it would be great to have something where you can pop all of your staff's credentials, how many years they've been working, what level they should be paid at.
Yeah.
If you didn't have to think too much about that and you could just magic wand it, that would be something that I think a lot of practitioners will need to start thinking about now.
Rates and awards.
Yeah. It's all being very serious now. It doesn't matter that you're paying above award.
Yes.
Anymore.
Yeah.
So, I know a lot of clinicians have always paid well above the award and been able to say, well, I pay above the award.
Yeah.
But you can't rest on those laurels.
Yes.
So now they're making changes, and which again, it's fantastic for the dental assistants who were being underpaid and undervalued.
And I agree. And I've heard this from a practice manager, actually. So she used to work in a corporate environment, and all of this was fed to her. And then she's gone to a large but an independent practice. And she said it's the same thing. How is she supposed to know when the awards change or the rules change? And again, it's something else that she has to think of outside of the daily grind of running the practice and running the team and dealing with the DAs that actually want to be in finance now and aren't going to show up tomorrow or this morning. And again, it's the proactive not having to think about this and look at all of this information.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. So that's almost operations and HR in one.
Oh, definitely.
And the APRA one was compliance and marketing in one.
Yeah.
So it all kind of interlinks as well, doesn't it? The issues. Okay. Talk to me about education. So my belief, and I'm putting words in your mouth, is this is your area of passion?
I love events. I love events. I love putting people together who have problems or combined problems who can solve each other's problems.
Yeah.
I like a win-win-win experience for everybody. And I think education just happened to be that medium where I could do all of that at once.
Okay. What I see, and because my head is wired to innovation and scalability, AI, I'm seeing online training, I'm seeing AI training, I'm seeing, I heard of a tool recently that will analyze how a team member, I'll be vague here, team member is performing, and then we'll generate this is the training. Very digital, very online.
Yeah.
You, I believe, have excelled in the human elements of education. What are you seeing as the greatest opportunity right now when it comes to education?
Look, I've seen the products that are out there and that review a staff member's performance. Those products are only as good as the champions who are willing to run those programs. So it's, you've got all the data, but if you don't have time to review the data and if you don't have the staff to manage those being reviewed,
yes,
it makes it very difficult.
Yeah.
So I think if you're going to look at any of those sort of products, you need to have buy-in from everybody, or you need to have a change agent in every location that you're implementing that software to ensure that you get the best out of it.
Yes.
It's not cheap. Yeah, I think it's still in its infancy, so I wouldn't leap too soon.
Yeah.
With anything, like you can be the, first user, but I feel like if you don't have everybody on board, it makes for a very tricky experience.
I agree that we have seen tools and we've reviewed them together where there is so much information and so much data and the bright shiny object syndrome, I believe, is real right now. And there's so much innovation, there's so much technology. There is almost, I think, a panic that practices feel that they need to be adopting, or that there's all of these dashboards that you can get amazing insights. But as you said, if you haven't got somebody that is invested and you haven't got somebody that is actually looking at this data and doing something with it, then it's data for data's sake. So with that, where do you sit with human in the loop, with how you could best place technology and innovation right now, but also the human elements of running a practice or education? Where do you think that person should best sit in this new world of technology?
I think if you're going to adopt AI and technology, I think you need to sit all of your team down first and just let them know that their roles aren't going to become obsolete.
Agree.
If anything, they're going to have a better time because all of the stuff that takes time, all of the rats and mice, all of the sand, you don't have to do it anymore. So it means that you've got more time for coffee breaks. It means you've got more time for a laugh. It means that you've got more time to do more fulfilling tasks.
Yeah.
And there's always a lot of pushback. And I did find it really interesting because the whole AI journey, I jumped on board immediately. I hate taking minutes.
Yes.
It is not my forte. I talk with my hands, as you can see. I do not have time to hold a pen and write minutes.
Yeah.
And I had said coming into multiple roles, I am not a receptionist. I am not a secretary. I do not take minutes. And yet I would always find myself being the one taking minutes. So as soon as I was able to find note takers, all of that sort of thing, I jumped on board. And it was life-changing.
Yeah.
What used to take me days to listen and type and I could record.
It's done.
I could record the meetings.
Yeah.
I would then chuck the transcript into ChatGPT and say, I want it to sound in this tone or I want it to be like this. Please don't talk about blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And bam, there goes, 70 pages.
Yeah, of notes done. Yeah.
So I came from oh my goodness, if I can have this tool making my life easier, why would I not invest my time in learning it?
Yes.
And I found, unfortunately, there are a lot of people who haven't looked into it but are still scared of it.
Yeah.
And then just shut down and won't use it.
Yeah. Fear response.
Fear response. So you want people to come in with a curiosity.
Yeah.
Which I think then you've got an open mind. I know when we've previously implemented new practice management softwares, if you have anybody who has a negative sort of mindset to start with, they're not going to be coming to the party with a learning mentality. So everything's going to be very difficult. Everything's going to be too hard.
Yeah.
Oh, the old product was only 2 clicks and now it's 4 clicks.
Yeah.
And it's like, yes, but...
And the button used to be on the left and I liked it on the left.
checkups are
Yeah.
purple. They used to be
Yes,
blue.
yeah.
And I don't like the color. And why is the font like this?
So how, because that's utopia, right? You know that not everybody is going to be on board and change hurts. And when you add AI in, there's fear and there's what's going to happen to my job. How do you manage that? Because there's always going to be those people.
You sit on them and you don't let them leave the room until they go. No, I'm still trying to figure that out. I think as long as I'm open and coming from a caring place.
Yeah.
I have a 6-year-old at home and she has taught me so much about patience.
Yeah.
And running an organization, sometimes I look at the team and go, wow, like my 6-year-old has a better grasp on this. Like, why can't you be like my 6-year-old?
Yeah.
And then also on the other side of things, I sometimes look at my 6-year-old and be like, you're on the 3rd warning, like you're out of here.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. So I think just being so patient with the team to help them get on board, because everybody learns at a different rate.
Yeah.
Their interpretation of something, just because somebody says yes and is nodding, doesn't mean that they know what you're talking about.
Yes.
And that's the biggest hurdle I think I faced was I would bring the teams in and I would explain what's happening and I'd be very excited and they were all like nodding. And then the next week I'm like, so how's it going?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I haven't started yet.
Done it.
I haven't signed in. And it's like, oh, well, it's been a week. Like, why didn't you say something? Yeah, why didn't you say something like the next day? You nodded, you said that you understood it. So, yeah, again, with the magic wand, it would be lovely for everybody to get on board at the same rate.
Yeah. It's really interesting that when you were talking about your 6-year-old and teams, in marketing, there's a statistical point where you have to, a message needs to be given 6 to 11 times for it to land. And that's marketing. But it's the same. And it's the same with your team. You need to tell people 6 to 11 times for a message to sink in.
Yeah.
And with your children, you have to ask them 606 times
every
for them
day.
To do what you ask.
You have to put shoes on every single day.
Yes.
Why would you not put shoes on today? It's the same as yesterday. Like
6 to 11 times.
Yeah.
So I would love to finish off with 2 questions. One is the future. So putting words into your mouth, I believe that we as a human race are in a very interesting moment right now. That what I've heard is AI, and the invention of AI is equivalent to the invention of the wheel, the steam engine, and electricity at the same time. And the world has never seen such a shift. What do you see if we were to set forward 5 years' time in the world of dental? What do you think the future may bring?
5 years, I think people will still be where they are now.
Yeah.
I think the majority of people will still be doing things the way that they've always been doing them. I think you'll have your early adopters. I think there's going to be some really interesting and exciting changes. But I still think people will be afraid. I think 5 years is too soon to say anything. I still remember when we went from developing x-rays to digital x-rays.
Yeah.
And that took many years for the majority of people to come on board. You know, I know for a fact there's still dentists who take notes on the cards.
Yeah. Slow movers.
Slow movers, yeah.
It's interesting. My book is 10 years old this year.
Really?
And with the exception of things have changed in terms of naming, and the social media platforms are probably a different order of priority. Effectively, it's as relevant now as it was 10 years ago. How you market a practice, it's all about humans, but it's all about numbers, it's all about tracking. So, yeah, I agree that 5 years' time, probably it will be much the same.
We don't have hoverboards yet.
Yes. Yet. Okay, so final question. If you were to give advice to some of the people listening about the change and innovation and all of the bright, shiny objects out there, what would your advice be?
I would say have a really good look at what problem you're trying to fix before jumping in to any decision, especially the amount of time that it's going to take. It's not just buying the product.
Yeah.
It's then what happens after you buy the product and what sort of support you get, how your team's going to run with it. And yeah, I think I'd be cautious, very cautious about why you need the product. Write a pros and cons list, talk to a bunch of different people, get some advice, look before you leap.
Yeah, love that. And make sure that you are picking a solution that fixes a problem that you have, not a bright, shiny object.
Yeah, because we all love bright, shiny objects.
We do. Thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for joining me on AI Your Practice. I hope today's episode gave you something practical to take back to your practice. If it was useful, follow the show, leave a review, or share. And if you want to learn more about what we're building at Trilby, go to trilby.ai or contact me on Carolyn S. Dean on any social media channel. Until next time, thanks for listening to AI Your Practice.